Hello there, it's Steve-O here from the Elite FBL podcast, and as ever I will start with that typical line of what on earth is going on. Now, as explained yesterday, due to unforeseen circumstances, we are unable to live stream anymore from a mobile phone because YouTube have updated their terms and conditions that if your channel does not have has a minimum of 1,000 subscribers, you are not allowed to live stream from your mobile phone. So, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I turned on the football, saw Man City were 1-0 up, and I just rolled my eyes and I just was like, I just don't care. I really don't care. I'm genuinely more interested in doing a video regarding all things Elite FPL Mini League. And you may be wondering, hold on a minute, Steve-O, that isn't your team. No, it's not. This, my friends, is John Harris's team. Look at that so far. 57 points. With a -8, so he's down to 49 points. But look at this. So, look at who he captained. Jamie Vardy. Look at that. Including bonus points, that's a whopping 32. Today, as you know, got 2 goals, 1 assist, and a maximum 3 bonus points. Absolutely brilliant choice there. And as we all know, John Harris, as of last night, dropped down to 70th from 51st. But my goodness, this score here, well, especially this Jamie Vardy captaincy pick is going to send him skyrocketing up the ranks. I think this is a really important team to look at here. As I stated, John Harris doing really well in the rankings. He's still got David Luiz, Hudson-Odoi, which I don't think will play, but we never know. Hazard, of course. And Lacazette. If we look at the players that he brought in, he went with, for a -8, he got rid of Pogba, Aguero and Sterling, and brought in Maddison. Unfortunately, didn't pay off. Lacazette and Salah. Salah, of course, scoring yesterday. Which, if people remembered, I did say that if you're going to captain anybody this week, make sure it's Salah, based on the statistics that I brought you guys. I also made reference to, obviously, Jamie Vardy. He was also another good contender. And Hazard, I did say about captaining, but I alliterated the point that Salah was the main guy to captain this week. Don't get me wrong, he paid off with a goal. You cannot fault that. He did pay our owners with a goal. I'm not one of them. Obviously, Jason brought him in. He got a yellow card, unfortunately, but yeah. Gets that 1 goal, obviously 6 points in total we got. Jamie Vardy was, of course, next in line, who I did mention about captaining. This was based on predominantly this was based on previous history versus the respective teams that they were up against, and also this season's history. And Salah and Vardy, especially Salah, I don't want to keep saying that, but especially Salah, he came right out on top. Now, Vardy was the next one in line. I personally went with Hazard, and I was genuinely thinking, so let's just bring up my team, shall we? Let's just quickly bring up my team. So as it stands right now, I'm on a measly 23 points, but -4, that's 19. However, I just didn't bother bringing these players in because they'll just automatically be subbed on. So I've got Trent Alexander-Arnold as my sub, Robertson and Fraser, and I'm a bit gutted there because when I heard it on the radio earlier on, I heard Fraser whipped in a whipped in a free kick, and that's when Ake scored the goal. Of course, I then later find out that Lerma was the one that got the assist. But that aside, yeah, I went with Hazard as captain, and do you know what? Honestly, I thought that was going to be a differential captain, and we'll go through it in a minute. But it turns out that he's one of the most popular. I was genuinely a bit gutted about that, but you know, Mane, of course, only getting the one single point there, getting a yellow card. And I did say that, yeah, his history against the bottom six, well, anybody outside the top six, in 9 games he'd scored 5 goals and 2 assists. But I like looking at the actual history that these players have against the respective teams. He'd done nothing, he blanked. That's why I'm seriously concerned about Hazard. But of the two, Hazard, it was Hazard and Mane. I went with Hazard just for the simple fact that I like a Monday game footballer. And I also took into account West Ham's recent results. I took into account Hazard's history, stats, whatever you want to call it, this season versus teams outside the top 6. And he is absolutely stunning. In 10 games at home, he's got 8 goals and 3 assists. I'm hoping that he brings me in something. Of course, like everybody's in the same boat as me. But unfortunately, Hazard's history in the last 3 versus West Ham, he's blanked in all 3. So I'm not really hopeful. But let's just quickly scan over what has happened so far. So last night, of course, Liverpool but let's be honest here, they came through 3-1 winners. Southampton, though, I believe they did pass their double game week test. And we're going to come on to my latest wildcard in a minute. But so Henderson, Salah and Keita with the goals, assisted by Alexander-Arnold, Henderson and Firmino. Moving on to today's games. Look at that. Burnley winning 3-1. Just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant result. Our matches versus Bournemouth are all hit and miss, but due to a statistic that I keep banging on about, this is the last time I mention this, Bournemouth's home record since November 2017 versus teams outside the top 6 was something like they'd played 20, they'd won 16 and drawn 4. Something along those lines, or won 14 and drawn 6, whatever. The point being is that they were basically unbeaten. And our form as of late has been absolutely shambolic. And look at that. We come out on top 3-1. Westwood. And I'm gonna show you my co-host team, Dan's team in a minute. You know who he had, don't you? Good old Westwood. Goal and assist and 3 bonus points. Ashley Barnes scoring twice, but of course once was an own goal. Chris Wood, and then Chris Wood also getting a assist as well. Leicester, the big winners here today, 4-1, and like we've already mentioned, oh sorry, Maddison did score. Ha! So actually that transfer did pay off. My apologies there, I didn't realise that. I'm literally doing this almost live, so to speak, even though this is going to be recorded. This is virtually live to me, but Vardy, of course, twice scoring there and getting an assist. But Maddison, Telemans, I did say that a lot of people were going on about who to choose out of Maddison and Telemans. I did say Telemans. And it turns out, thanks to here, he got 2 bonus points that actually the best pick. But the reason why I did say Telemans is that his recent form has been, he's basically, barring the first 2 games that he was involved with Leicester since signing in January, he's done really, really well. And he scored today and brilliantly, gotten 2 bonus points. Here's another big one. Said it was going to be a really close game. And Crystal Palace edging it 1-0. I'm a bit incredibly Milivojevic. Now, I have no idea if that was a penalty or not, because the fact that Zaha got the assist, you know, maybe he was fouled and then Milivojevic got the penalty, but whatever. The point being is that, look at that. Guaita, someone that I was considering for my team in double game week 35. I never went through with it. It doesn't matter. Look at that. Look at that. Not only did he get a save point, but obviously he got the clean sheet and 3 bonus as well. But of course, Wan-Bissaka annoyingly getting a bonus point there. But yeah, so just quickly, briefly, looking at my team again. You've got Fabianski left, David Luiz, Hudson-Odoi, Hazard captain, like most, and that's it really. And I've obviously got these 3 here coming off the bench, but again, it's only 7 points. Not that I'm complaining, it's still points, but I'm going to move on to Jason's team next, who, yeah, I'm never going to catch this guy. He's gone. He is absolutely vanished. I'll never be able to catch him unless my wild card goes to plan, but 42 points, took a -8. Okay. Still got quite a lot of players still to play, but look at this. Pereira coming in today with an assist. There's that Wan-Bissaka pick. Really frustrating, but again, nothing I can do. He did go with Hazard tomorrow when we do a live stream. Yeah, just a quick plug. We will be, the 3 of us, doing a live stream tomorrow evening at 6 PM. Obviously, whenever you're joining us, that's Sunday the 7th of April. Myself, Dan and Jason will be going live together to reflect on everything that's happened so far in the game week. But yeah, he's got Hazard still captain, Higuain down here. I'm hoping he doesn't start. I'd like to think that Sarri's going to be like, do you know what? We played so well versus Brighton the other day. Just stick to the team. But we know what Sarri's like. And of course, Jamie Vardy there, coming in with the whopping 16 points there as well. So Jason's transfers, just to alliterate what they were. He brought in, I know he brought in Vardy, I know that for a fact. So he got rid of, again, Pogba, Sterling and Aguero, and brought in Vardy, Salah, Mane. 2 of them paid off instantly. His 8-point hit went really, really well. I was considering taking an extra 4-point hit and matching Jason's 8-point and bringing in Lacazette, but I just went with what Arsenal's form is like away from home at the moment. Everton's recent form versus some of the top teams at the moment has done really, really well, and they've kept a few clean sheets. So actually, you know, it may end up, you know, a 1-0, a 2-0, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I was a bit reluctant in the end to bring in Lacazette. So I just want to briefly, I know this is a bit self-absorbent here, but just to show you the standings on our cash money that we take very, very seriously. As you can see, I mean, I'm like, what, 40 odd points ahead of 3rd place. Like I keep banging on about, I've pretty much nailed 2nd spot. It's just catching Jason. As you can see, as of last night, I'm exactly 100 points behind Jason. I'm never going to catch him, so do I do it now? Why not? Just a quick applause to say Jason has pretty much won the Torbay Elite Fantasy Football Mini League. And then you've got these 3 here. It's a bit like, well, 4 actually. You've got these 4 here who, they're in it. It's a bit like the real life Premier League in a way. You've got 2 teams not quite at the top like Man City and Liverpool, where it's basically neck and neck. But these 4 are exactly like, you know, Arsenal, Chelsea and Tottenham. Who's going to get into the top 4? And, well, you know, Darren Monday and Connor Lee at the moment now have the advantage, being 11 and 12 points ahead respectively. But yeah, this is going to be so tight. But I mentioned Dan's team. Let's quickly look at my co-host. He has had a beautiful game week, but unfortunately, I think he is going to miss out on top 4. I could be proven wrong. I normally am, but it looks like he's going to be missing out on top 4. Look at that, everybody. 63 points, didn't even take a hit. And his 1 transfer was Almiron in. So, yeah, his 1 transfer was Almiron in. Let's just quickly clarify that. Yeah, he got rid of Felipe Anderson and brought in Almiron. But look at that. 63 whopping points. And finally, his Westwood selection has come in. Look at that. 13 points. Fantastic. But this is Dan all out. But look, he captained Mane. How unfortunate. I'm assuming, again, we'll talk to him tomorrow evening, but I'm assuming he just went with the fact that he's a player in form at the moment. But If only he went with Jamie Vardy. Be interested to hear Dan's thoughts, but look at that team. Schmeichel, Pereira, Alexander-Arnold, Wan-Bissaka, Westwood, Salah, Mane, Fraser, Almiron, Vardy and Ryan. Again, like I said, Fraser missing out on that assist. Now again, I have no idea how he missed out on the assist. I'm just assuming he whipped in the free kick, Lerma get a head to it or flick on, and then that's how Ake scored. But absolutely brilliant. Well done, Dan. Well done indeed. So, let's just quickly move on to You Know Who, the Elite FPL Podcast Mini League. Let's get you guys quickly involved. I've already gone over John Harris's score there. Daniel Ash, let's quickly bring up... Oh, and just a quick one on Daniel Ash. Like we already mentioned, congratulations to him being the March Manager of the Month award. If you are watching this on a replay, Dan, please get in contact with us via Twitter or Instagram at Elite FPL. Just private message us and we will be able to get you sent over a exclusive Elite FPL mug that Jason will be making for you. But a very respectable 50 points there. Excellent. He took a -4, as you can see. Let's have a look at his team briefly. Boric not playing, unfortunately. Looks like he's lost his place. I don't know why, but he's lost his place. And then look at this. Wow. Vardy, of course. Vardy captain. Excellent, excellent choice there. Well done, Dan. Hazard still left to play, David Luiz, but it looks like his transfers are probably... I'm assuming he brought in the 2 Leicester boys. Let's have a quick look at his transfer history briefly. I'm assuming that is the case. And bloody hell, look at this. You'd see all the wild cards and... No! He'd already had Maddison and Vardy. He got rid of Aguero and Sterling, brought in Mane and Wilson, who did absolutely nothing. Ironically, he probably wished now he didn't even bother doing that transfer. It doesn't even matter. So he would have been on 54 points. But again, doesn't matter. He's had a stunning game week so far. 50 points, a respectable result there. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to go over too much really with the Elite FPL Podcast Mini League because we can discuss all that tomorrow on the live stream. But I'm going to bring you quickly up to date with my mini wildcard at the moment. So, as I stated yesterday, I will be changing it quite regularly and made a couple of changes today. And you may be like, ooh, look at this. What's going on? So, I got rid of Mane. I did mention yesterday when I did this stream that depending on what Mane does against Southampton, this is going to change my mind. And if I'm honest as well, I'm being a bit cheeky. So if I show you what I do, you're going to think, what? Why are you doing this? But so last night, I thought to myself, right then, I'm deliberately going to play my wild card as of last night. So Friday, the 4th of April. 5th of April, sorry. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to deliberately do this wild card to catch some price risers. That didn't work out too well for me. So basically, I actually lost out on money because the fact that Son and Sterling actually dropped down in price. And I brought them in on my I brought Son in on my wild card anyway. But yeah, so you may be wondering, Ericsson, what's going on here? Duffy you brought in. Interesting. Decora. Okay, what's going on here, Steve? A few changes. So it's a bit cheeky of me, but what I'm kind of planning on doing is looking at the homepage of the players that are being brought in to teams. And I'm going to be bringing in players which are going to be going up in price. At the moment, I've got Kane, Son, Duffy, Ryan, Sterling already, Jimenez. Haven't got Laporte. Lacazette, not bothered about. Kolasinac already got. I saw Ericsson, you know. Valerie's there. You know, quite a lot of the players that I'd already picked in the first place. But there's a few there where I was like, oh, I may as well get on the bandwagon now and try. Keyword being try and cash in. And when you look at the players out at the moment, you know, players like Mane, I got him in, well, I say I got him in at 10 million. I didn't. I sold him at 10 million, so I lost out on 0.1. But players like Hazard, Salah, Vardy not there, you know. Fabianski, I don't have any more. Pogba. Basically, barring Aguero, all these players here I don't own. But Aguero, my understanding is that he's quite high up in the transfers in. And the simple answer, well, he's down there. He's all the way down here, but you know, he's ahead of Aubameyang. And yeah, I'm playing the price game at the moment deliberately, because if I'm honest with you, so if we go back to my team again, if I'm honest with you, I'm within reason. So barring this triple up of Tottenham, which is going to change, okay, that is going to change. Barring them three, I'm relatively happy with this team so far. Kolasinac is another one where I'm thinking, do I bother? But what I find really difficult about this wild card is you're not doing, well, you are obviously doing it for game week 25 here, but you know, it's not quite as simple as that, because we all know that game week 34 looks a bit like this, and it's obviously a double with Brighton. But Spurs at home to Huddersfield is a 12:30, annoyingly. I said Man City away at Crystal Palace. Now, I have got to do so much research into this regarding potential rotation regarding Champions League, and funny enough, Spurs obviously is playing Man City, but these are the key players for their teams. Son, Eriksen, Kane, they've still got, funny enough, Champions League places to play for. Can't miss out on the Champions League, and then playing each other in the Champions League. These two here are absolutely key. So Sterling and Aguero are absolutely key to everything Man City do when it comes to the big games. Pep Guardiola ain't going to drop these two. My goodness. Not in the big games, which I've already said. Now, I'm more than likely going to be doing a bench boost, but I am so tempted with triple captain on Aguero or Sterling. Man City at home to Spurs and away at United. I am pretty confident in Aguero or Sterling to absolutely destroy these two teams, but you know, have a bit of fun, shall we say. I am seriously considering potentially bringing in Salah, but again, he scored one goal in God knows how many matches. I mean, let's just quickly bring him up here. So bring up Salah at the moment, and as we all know, I'm stating the obvious, but you know, that is for a 13.2 million player to have scored 2 goals in the last 6-7 games, or 9 games, whatever it works out to be, and 2 assists is shocking, to be honest with you. But he scored last night, and admittedly, I'm not too concerned about the Chelsea match. Even though, yeah, can I see him scoring? Yeah, of course you can. You know, these top players, you can't rule out scoring. You'd be mad not to. You're more than willing to put your money on these big players scoring than not, but it's Chelsea, and this ain't no easy ride. And Chelsea, I haven't done my research, but from my understanding, they haven't got such a bad record versus Liverpool, but we're not doing a preview show, so let's all just stop worrying about that. So yeah, I'm pretty. I'm going to quickly show you my quick setup for game week 34, and look who I've captained. Look at that. At the moment, I'm on Duffy. Only because he's got 2 fixtures, very favourable ones against Bournemouth and Cardiff. That's it. Am I going to have the cojones to do it? Very unlikely. But yeah, I'm relatively happy with the team set up for game week 34. I'll probably well, no, I'm not going to get rid of Decorah. He's got a really good record at the moment. Let's have just a quick brief overview of Decorah right now. And as of late, he has done pretty well. So yeah, scoring 2 goals in a row. Altogether this season, he's got 5 goals, 6 assists. I stated in the podcast yesterday that Delafeo's 0.2 million in price difference. But, you know, we all get swayed by various FPL, whether it's tip sites or even the fantasy football site. And I'm not going to lie to you, I watched their and it's a fantastic episode. Highly recommend you check it out. What am I doing here? Highly recommend you check it out. But it's an episode that's predominantly about the Wildcard 34. And they were talking about Delafeu. And simply put, the host, Neil, was basically just saying, avoid him. You know, I mean, all their points, I mean, Pereira, Decora, Delafeu, their points are so similar. There's, 8 points difference between them, and they've all virtually scored. I mean, if we bring up Pereira as an example, he's got a total of 6 goals, 4 assists. So Decora has already got 1 more assist than him. Is that right? Have I completely been an idiot there? I probably have. But sorry, got 1 less goal, but 1 more assist, so to speak. My maths is going to be all over the place. But Delafeu, you know, barring, as it says, Neil said, you know, barring this hat trick and an assist versus Cardiff, he's so sporadic. But I mean, look, he just seems to score in gluts here. Little glut there, blanks, little glut here, going on a couple of blanks at the moment. So Decora seems to be the steady place. Plus, Neil was mentioning that the fact that Decora seems to be playing a more advanced role. Troy Deeney, I don't want to be quoting Neil, but I'm going to have to. Troy Deeney has come out and said that, or repeating what the guy said, Troy Deeney apparently come out and said that he doesn't like playing with Delafeu. All these things factor into place. So, yeah, I've just gone with Decora again. These things can all change at the time being. I mean, I'm even thinking out loud here, you know, do we really want to trust Brighton assets if they do get knocked out the FA Cup at the moment? Who knows? And they may just drop their heads and may not be interested. And I mean, again, the fact that we beat Bournemouth today, we're now going to be 8 points clear of the bottom 3. We've got that crunch game next game week versus Cardiff. My dad's extremely optimistic. I'm, again, being a pessimist, I'm not particularly confident. Whenever Burnley, whenever we're favourites, we always seem to mess it up. Hence that Leicester game that the other week, where I said that was the game we were relegated. Look what happened since. So, yeah, I'm a bit worried about maybe Brighton may think they're safe and may go on their holidays. I don't know. There's so many factors to question it, but let's be honest here. These two here, Ryan and Duffy, are excellent picks. Like I said, it's just a treble up at the moment. Again, a bit like, and I'm sorry to say this and to quote, how does he say it? It's J&O in the know, or whatever he says. And I'm going to say it's Steve-O in the know with his wild card. It's not the greatest rhyme I know, but you stop saying I know, Steve-O. But yeah, I'm not going to be doing this a daily thing. This is just me because I'm bored out my mind and I just thought, you know what, because I can. I keep saying it, because I can, I will. I just enjoy doing this content, if I'm honest with you. And when you've got the technology there, so to speak, I'm going to do it. And to be honest with you, here we go, Steve-O's speech. I like doing this for the community. The feedback, I have to say this, the feedback that you guys have given me in this, well, not just me, sorry. The feedback that you guys have given myself, Dan and Jason, has been absolutely extraordinary. I cannot thank you enough for the support that you guys have given us since breaking that news yesterday that we can't live stream. And I got a bit of news on that as well. That we can't live stream on our mobile phones. So basically no solo podcasts because we do not have 1,000 subscribers. Since then, we've gone past the 350 subscription mark. Thank you so much for that. We're now up to 355, which is just, this is just fantastic. The train has just begun to move forward again. just trolling along, and yeah, it's one of those where I'm overwhelmed by genuinely the support that you've given us, the feedback that you've given us, saying that these videos are really, really enjoyable and good. Thank you so much. I agree with, and I apologise about his name, I've completely forgotten his name, but Sashin, that was his name, Sashin Phillips or Feeps, I forget now, I apologise Sashin, but he made a very interesting comment on the inbox or the comment section on the YouTube channel, which was, you know, if these specific videos are more than 10 minutes long, he doesn't like to watch them. And I replied, and I'm going to just relay this point, which is, I completely agree. I think that if it was just purely me discussing my wild card, then yeah, there's only so much you can talk about, as I explained yesterday in a video. But as I stated, the Elite FPL podcast, even though it's about us three individuals taking fantasy football very seriously, remember, I say remember, you don't have to remember, that sounds so patronising. It's about, the reason why we started this podcast was to share our, as Brett Mollison always says, our emotional roller coaster that we take of our Cash Mini League very, very seriously. You know, this is our Cash Mini League. We take it very, very seriously. There's 50 teams in it, and you know, we just wanted to share with you guys that emotional roller coaster that in this particular mini league. But as I keep stating, we then got such overwhelming support for this podcast that we decided to create this Elite FPL mini league, and the standards have just been absolutely insane. I mean, I don't know how many people are actually in this mini league at the moment. I think it's well over 100. I know that much. Bloody hell, we're into the 3 pages at the moment. 109. So 109 teams at the moment are in our mini league. And yeah, the standard set by the guys in this particular mini league is absolutely extraordinary. We've already got John Harris up there. You know, John Harris is up to 70th as of last night, Friday the 5th. Because of his score there today, so far, 57. He's up to 57. He's going to be probably going way past where he was, which was 51st, and probably going to be in the early 40s, I'd like to think. That's just John Harris that's second. When we move on to Jason, again, we all know his story so far. As of last night, 328th. Let's move on to Daniel Ash quickly. I'm not going to go through everybody before we do anything, but 396th in the world. I mean, we're talking, having to scroll down. I mean, where I was, I mean, me last night, as of last night, I mean, I've gone down to 11,000. So I've dropped out of the top 10,000 down to 11,000. But, you know, I'm 18th in our mini league. So if we go up by one, Ronald Jean, I think your name was, there we are. Just outside the top 10,000. And then regular contributor. There's John Allison there, FPL lad. And he's going to be in... Oh no, he's just... This is ridiculous. Look how tight it is. There we go. Kieran Hay then. No, he's not even... This is how tight it is. Blimey, these guys are still outside the top 1,000. Ryan Malone, are you outside? Here we are at last. 9,273rd. And in the TORBAY, in the Elite FPL Fantasy Group Mini League, he is 14th. You've got to go all the way down to 14th to be within the top 10,000. That's absolutely nuts. That's the high standards that these guys here set for everybody. You know, and people that are within this mini league, take FPL Booner as an example, you know, this is a guy who is doing so well this year. You know, 6,000th in the top 6,000. Look at that. 43 points. Great score. Didn't take a hit. Captain Salah, fair play to him. That's already paid off. Had Vardy. You know, he's doing really well this year, and yet he feels he's having a bad season because he participates so much in our podcast and the high standards that people like John Harrison are setting. He feels like he's having a bad season. It's exactly the same as me. I feel like I'm having a bad season, but again, I alliterate this point. I don't want to keep going over it, but I will do. Is that our podcast was originally all about this, and thanks to you guys, it's become about you, and that's the important thing. Our podcast has become about you. So, like I said, going back to what I was saying, the feedback that we've received over the last 24 hours has been absolutely phenomenal, and I cannot thank you enough for that. I alliterate this point. Any feedback that you do have for this podcast, for myself, Dan and Jason, to listen to and take forward, that's what we do. We listen to what you've got to say, and we move forward with it. Talking of which, so if you've gotten this far into the video, there is some news to give you guys. So, Jason, I think it was Jason, I can't remember. Jason said that there's an app that we could use, which actually may allow us to actually live stream after all. Now, I'm not going to name the app, but the reviews for it, even though it got a 4.3 out of 5, the actual reviews that I initially read, so like the first 5 reviews, aren't that great, to be honest with you. Some of them saying there are audio issues. I'm not suggesting we've got great audio, but we get by. Audio issues aren't great. The actual live stream chat is supposed to be pretty poor as well. And of course, that's what we base our Elite FPL podcast on, the interaction with you guys. And I can't be having a live stream going on, and from what I read, some of the reviews saying that the chat just disappears, literally just gone. Some of the comments can't get through. I can't be having that. So, out of respect to you guys, if and when I decide to use this app, or Jason or Dan, whichever one, we will advertise when we're doing it, and maybe get some of you guys along and test out the live stream through this particular app. Now, that would be really, really interesting to do. It'll probably be ending up being me, if I'm honest with you, at some point. I've got a few days off next week, so I may do it next week. I'm just waiting on Jason to get back to me regarding login details. But other than that, yeah, it would be purely a tester. And like I said, stay tuned for news about that. That would be through Twitter and Instagram at EliteFPL if you're not following us. I'm going to end it there. That was your not quite Steve-O daily update, so to speak, because I don't do these daily. I alliterate. I only did this because I was bored, and the fact that City were 1-0 up, but whatever. Point being is that I can't thank you enough for watching these videos and taking your time out to watch them. Really appreciate it. Once again, any feedback that you have for myself, Dan or Jason, please leave in the comment section below. Again, if you want to follow us about updates about when we're going live next, which, to be honest with you, looks like it's going to be tomorrow evening, which is Sunday the 7th of April. We should be going live at approximately between 6 and 6:30. Probably 6:30 tomorrow evening we'll be going live. So finally you guys will be able to join us in the live chat. But again, we'll keep you updated with that on Twitter and Instagram. I've got to say it, if you've enjoyed the content tonight, hit that subscribe button, please. As Dan keeps saying, it just helps the channel grow. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next podcast. Cheers, guys.